morning, everyone. Welcome to EBO's webinar, AI in Action, Automating Customer Engagement to Achieve Exceptional Results.
Good morning and welcome all. It's great to have you in this webinar. So my name is JJ Gatt and I'm the CEO of EBO. Let me take you through a journey that we've traveled through over the last 5 years. This is really a new era for customer experience. We often forget, a quarter of a century ago, right, in 1998, to be exact, we stood at this threshold of the digital age. Some of you might fondly remember this green screen, right? It was the period where Amazon made that very bold decision to go from being a bookstore to being a superstore, extending its sales catalog well beyond books and putting the first levels of personalization in the way it looked at every introduction, right? So every element in Amazon, even tabs, were introduced within this website, right? We saw the first search bar making its prominent appearance on the top left of the homepage. But the past 25 years since that green screen, since that Amazon site that we fondly remember, these past 25 years have seen such a huge technology revolution, right? And financial service businesses like your own took to digitization literally by storm. Right, today, virtually every bank, every financial services company, every insurance company has probably a mobile app, a website that works effectively, in which it invites users to interact with that particular entity. But as a result of this digitization, we now have digital forms with many fields and website with so many lengthy pages of frequently asked questions that no one ever reads. Much content is developed which is never consumed, right? And some organizations also have, chatbot reminiscent also of the 90s, which remain perhaps stuck in a technology era where they don't provide empathy, where they do not serve the citizen. And so, as a result of this digitization, we have noted some very unwelcome side effects, right? This wave of digitization has meant that most financial service organizations have created experiences for their customers which are functionally correct, but they are emotionally void. And this is a problem because the personal connection that a brand has with customers has weakened, and so has customer loyalty, and so has the ability of a brand to differentiate itself in a very competitive landscape. We are introducing to you today intelligent, conversational, artificial intelligence, the capability to simulate human cognition, human conversation, technology that can forge a connection that feels authentic. Now, this is a field of technology which I'm very excited about, right? Conversational AI allows us to understand what humans are telling us, understand language, understand emojis, understand context to a very high level of accuracy. That's why we call the touch point a virtual assistant. And the word assistant is key because it's about assisting the user to complete their goals in the financial services world. This is exactly what we did for Exinity. Exinity is a global foreign exchange bank. And as Exinity rapidly expanded across multiple countries, it needed a technology solution to help it streamline its customer interactions and to integrate seamlessly with its core system, which was built on Zendesk, where we are in fact also Zendesk partners. So we brought an AI brain which sat in between their Zendesk chat, which was the touch point to citizens, together with a number of channels, and their agent applications, which managed their call centers where they have hundreds of individuals employed. And we operated this solution across multiple languages and ensuring that they meet all the regulatory compliance obligations that they have in each state in which they operate. Today, our solution handles 45% of every conversation that enters the organization, whatever the touch point, whether that is their website, a native app, messaging applications like WeChat, WhatsApp, Telegram, and the solution speaks multiple languages, right? We understand and generate responses in English, in Farsi, in Russian, and in Chinese. The wonderful thing about this project is that we reached what was for them an automation goal with a 12-month timeline in just 3 months. That is the speed with which this solution provides benefit to organizations. So this is my appeal to you all. Let there be change, right? We are peering into the future, and we are confident that in this age of artificial intelligence, we can change the financial services sector. As leaders in our respective businesses, we are in this webinar not because we want to take small project decisions for 2024, but because it is our responsibility to position our businesses for success in the future.
Look, what is a conversational virtual assistant? It's just another channel, right? So when we introduced mobile capabilities, that was another channel. This is another channel. And the art of the possible now with generative AI moving to vision and voice is just going to unlock next level capabilities like bringing relationship management to everyone, not just VIPs. Imagine being able to unlock that level of a personalized care and service to everyone, both on the insurance side and the banking side, because we're always looking to find ways to create more channels of sales and utilize our customer care to be able to engage our customers to continuously grow that share of wallet. The other thing is that these capabilities, and with the invention of what we are all talking about, agents, for instance, next generation systems that are operating autonomously to unlock, let's say, workflow automation, is that these capabilities aren't just for the customer-facing applications. They're driving next level efficiency and productivity for the agents. And it was mentioned, yes, we can pass through a discussion that's happening with the customer, but imagine that agent being able to have all the relevant information, summarize, be able to chat internally with all the internal databases, but also all the mundane tasks are being done by an agent behind the scenes so that the individual can spend more care and time with the customer when they're transferred to a human.
The automation of customer engagement activities is a very critical point and is one of the key differentiators for financial services companies. So when these companies select an AI partner, they should take into consideration the following points. First of all, the domain expertise and the experience of the partner. Okay, meaning that the partner should have a deep understanding of the unique challenges and the regulations within the financial services industry. And he should also have a proven track record with history of successful AI implementations, especially in financial services. Second point is the scalability and the flexibility. The partner's AI solutions should be adaptable to the needs of the financial services business and to the changing regulatory landscape. The partner should also have the capacity to handle increased workloads and the data volumes from the business growth.
The cloud infrastructure is actually the backbone of AI-driven customer experience initiatives in financial services or elsewhere, as it offers the scalability and the performance they need to offer such services to their customers. So here, how it makes the difference. So the first pillar is the scalability and the flexibility you can have as you use cloud infrastructure. So cloud platforms like Azure provides the dynamic scalability needed to manage large amounts of data, not just data, but large amounts of data, and to serve even the highest computational demands. And this flexibility allows financial institutions or their partners to seamlessly scale their AI models and applications, ensuring that they can handle all the peak loads without any infrastructural constraints. So this is pretty much difficult to be achieved without, moving, at least for AI, to a cloud infrastructure. So second pillar is the cost efficiency that you're going to have if you move to the cloud infrastructure, because transitioning to cloud infrastructure slashes the initial and ongoing expenses associated with deploying and maintaining AI application compared to traditional on-premise solutions. But imagine that AI is not, another application that would run on an infrastructure. It needs a lot. It has huge demand for computational power. So yeah, most probably an individual organization would need a lot of money to spend to achieve the same that is offered to everyone with less cost from the cloud infrastructure platforms. All right.
Hara is our virtual assistant. Hara is named after the Greek word for joy, used also as a female first name in Greek. It is an AI-powered virtual assistant residing on the ergohellas.gr since January 2023. Hara is there in order to support the demand of around-the-clock interaction and to give our customers the customer service that they need. The launch and continuous optimization of Hara reflects our commitment to offer a top-notch and omni-channel experience. Integrating the virtual assistant into the pre-sales, sales, and after-sales journeys of insurance industry, we have managed to streamline processes and to enhance customer experience, making interactions smooth and user-friendly. Let's go on further to a walkthrough on our use cases. In the pre-sales experience, Hara is there to engage with our prospect customers, answering questions, conducting initial assessments, identifying needs, preferences, providing educational content in order to help in the stages of awareness, consideration, and evaluation of insurance products. In the sales journey, Hara can help the users to start a quote or to bind, and of course provides the available content for products and their details in order to support policy customization or evaluation. In the after-sales journey, Hara provides assistance for customers onboarding, guides the registration on our customer portal, and in using the suite of our services. She also guides our customers in the moment of truth. The moment of truth in insurance industry is the claims part. And on the claims part, Hara can give help on urgent situations. She interacts for insurance policies, for payments, to assist payments or to assist renewals. And should the customer conversation requires human intervention, Hara automatically transfers the conversation seamlessly to a human agent or provides option to connect with an ERGO partner. During all these journeys, we collect customer feedback in order to understand satisfaction levels and identify areas for improvement. And while the VA can fully automatically operate, ERGO has a full control over conversational workflows and can manage, build, or enhance conversation flows at any point of time.
So after introducing our virtual assistant Hara to the world, it was time to assess performance. And what we measured and monitored were exceptional results. So Hara enjoys a recognition rate of 95%. That is, in essence, the percentage of messages that are understood and handled effectively by Hara. We also observed a high satisfaction rate of 91%, deriving from the customer evaluations at the end of each conversation of Hara. And we also observed a high self-service rate of 81%. That is, in essence, the percentage of requests that were handled without the need of human intervention. Among the top and most frequent flows that we identified in 2024 out of our virtual assistant were ones that were relevant to paying the policy and queries relevant to payment. What is very interesting, though, is that during emergency situations, such as the wildfires that we experienced here in Greece this year, back in August, we were able to very quickly accommodate ad hoc flows relevant to claims assistance in such urgent cases, such as natural disasters.
By the end of this decade, by 2030, there are going to be two kinds of companies left. Those who are fully utilizing AI in their work processes and those which are out of business. Yes, it's as stark as that. AI is the enabler for competitiveness. So how do we get into category one? At this turning point, where do you start? How do you reframe this notion of work? How do you get executive buy-in from your leadership teams? How do you create this sense of urgency that we are all speaking about in today's webinar? Well, here are the three things which I've learned, which I'd like to leave you with in today's webinar. The first is start by obtaining ROI on small wins, like low risk, high return processes within your organization. Customer engagement is usually the proven vehicle where you want to focus on, because there are use cases which reoccur in your workforce who are often overworked on those specific repetitive elements. That's a good area to show ROI on. Secondly, and Paris just mentioned this, now define your objectives clearly before you start. The ERGO case study was beautiful because it was so objective. They knew what they wanted to accomplish. They knew how they were going to measure it. And they were able to ask themselves the most important question at the start, which is, what does success look like? And when you've got a clear vision towards that definition, you choose the right vendor and you just go for it, right? And my third recommendation is manage expectations. AI is not a magic wand. It's not an omnipotent solution which is going to solve every concern in business. It delivers probabilistic results. But if you manage expectations correctly, if you are the internal champion for AI in your company, you could really move forward. So this is not really a technical debate. This is not a webinar about digital tools. This is a webinar about leadership, about coordination, about understanding how we need to change our business at this very fundamental moment. I do think that artificial intelligence is the most fascinating theme of this decade. And now you have the tools to start on this exciting journey.